You catching anything?
Welcome to the first ever boat-in cinema event in the Nordic countries. At least that's how it was described by the organizers. And we're in Stockholm. This is August 8th, 2025, and we're in front of Stockholm City Hall, where moviegoers have gathered both in the park in front of City Hall and on the water. You can actually see me there as one of the paddlers. And this is a special event with an outdoor movie showing of the movie, specifically the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, a movie by Wes Anderson from quite a number of years ago. And this was such a unique thing that I definitely felt I had to bring my portable kayak and get out on Stockholm waters here with good margin, actually checking out some other areas in good time ahead of the event. Well, to go see this, because it's not every day you see that many boats and paddlers and people on land gathered to see a movie screening or a movie showing at City Hall or any other location in the city for that matter. As noted, the organizers stated that this was the first boat-in cinema event in the Nordic countries. So that was something that was too good to miss. So here you'll see some moments of what this looks like.
Let's see if the outdoors cinema thing is gonna be a good one. I already see a few boats here and there. This is Stockholm City Hall, and it should be starting in a few minutes, so we'll see. Yeah, definitely some boats having positioned themselves in front of what should be the screen on the other side, so this should be interesting. Although the weather as forecast is a little bit windy, it's 4 or 5 meters per second, and in this area it kind of gets amplified with all the boat traffic kind of bounces. So we'll see just how easy it's going to be to keep track in a kayak. Might have to paddle back and forth rather than relax. And there to the right, I do see in the screens, it's double screens, so it's one side towards the park and one side towards the water. And yeah, there are actually quite a few boats here. Of course, the advantage of a kayak is that you can go quite close compared to the boats that want to keep a little bit of distance maybe. I do see some inflatable rafts, some stand-up paddle boards. Then of course the rental kayaks will be surprised because they'll pass through here. Mostly boats rather than paddlers, I would say, but I've never seen this combination of vessels here in front of City Hall. Never. So that's pretty cool. I recognize one of the local kayak clubs. Schysst bioläge då. All right, actually the paddlers are right here. Met a few people who were aware of Swedish Air Kayak Day, which is nice. Sorry. Vad sa du?
Har du kollat klart?
Ja, exakt. Det var en bra film. Det var kortare än vad jag trodde. Där.
Parte dell'ultimo film di uno degli autori che desideriamo qui allo Questo, Mr. Steve Zissou.
Wolodarski, 33, physicist, original score.
So yeah, a little bit of a different experience seeing a movie like this, and it was well worth the experience actually. That's what everybody I talked to thought. Met a few people I knew at this event, and it was actually the first time I saw this movie. It's a bit of an sometimes absurd piece of work with quite a bit of accomplishment artistically and visually, and supposedly it's a bit of an homage. Well, there you see the movies next that you of course have to bring along. So yeah, as I understand, this is a bit of an homage and a comedic parody also on a famed diver and oceanographer Jacques Cousteau, and I suppose loosely based on his life, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not in the detailed knowledge of this at all. But it was definitely a really interesting way to watch a movie. The first time I've done something like this, and again, supposedly it was the first boat-in cinema like this in the Nordic countries, so that isn't surprising. It was well worth the effort. A little bit of logistics there in terms of connecting or holding on to other paddle crafts. So there were lines, basically, or ropes that people used to connect lines of kayaks, for example, and stand-up paddleboards, because there was a little bit of wind and the waves bounce here, meaning that everybody moves around a bit. So some people had thought of that, which was good. And if you go to an event like this, it's something to consider, bringing something a short line of some sort, a rope that you can connect yourself to. So yeah, an interesting movie showing with leopard shark appearances and whatnot, and a movie that was very much about being on the water, but also under the water. I suppose both boaters and paddlers usually prefer being on the water rather than under it, but still, this was very appropriate for the on the water people. And from what I heard, people on land in the park there also enjoyed this quite as well. Somebody said that there was an hot air balloon that came flying above the city, which we didn't see from our angle, but yeah, it was quite a unique experience. And my advice is, whenever you have the opportunity to experience something unusual like this, it's well worth doing that, because it's something to remember, it's a bit of fun, it's something different, and always nice. So for my part, I continued my paddle for a bit because it was still fairly warm out. The water is really warm right now, and eventually, as it got darker, there actually was this magnificent yellow full moon over the sky there. So I had a fantastic day all in all, and evening here, and it's never disappointing to go out on Stockholm waters or any waters. So thank you for watching, and happy paddles.